Well, everybody, hey, it's an update. I know I've been working on the river scene for so long. I actually did a little bit of an update type style. This farm scene part 1. I did get the fence in. It looks great. I'll show you how I did that in this video. Also did a little work with some foliage, balanced some more track. It looks fantastic. Very happy. Everything's looking good and so far with the scenery. So looks really good. I think it's time to maybe do a run-up session, run a train through this. I cleaned up that track now that I ballasted it. Looks fantastic. I'm going to have to say train time. Simply train time for what I've got. And I also have to test out this crossing over here I made. So that's pretty much it. And the second part of this next week, or maybe this weekend, depending on when I get to it, I will do the farm, the little details around the farm, show you how I did that. That'll be in the next update. I'm not sure when I'll get to that or when I post it, but that will definitely be in the next update, and do some finishing touches along this farm scene, and then start getting into this side here, going towards the camera, which is where the town's going to fit in, and that's going to be a huge undertaking. And then I'm getting closer to the engine area, which I need an engine house or engine facility, so I know who to call to maybe work something out about that. So you may see a Vinny built structure in the future on my layout. So I'm going to get in touch with him probably in the next month or so about that. So Vinny, if you're watching, I'll be in touch about that, because I'm getting closer to planning out how that's going to work. So that's it for this update. Stay tuned for another announcement. I will have an announcement about something special, a collaboration with a few other YouTube model railroaders. So that's going to be another separate announcement. Plus, I will be doing a contest. I'm still working on it. I've got to get a few things for the contest. I'm hoping in a couple weeks I can start the contest. And my subscribers keep climbing up, so which is great. I appreciate the support. I appreciate people watching the channel and the comments. That's always welcome. If I help anybody in this hobby, that's fantastic. So thank you for that, guys. Look for the announcement, and another coming update will be coming, and a run session, because I got to do that. I've got to run some trains again. I haven't in a while. Time to hook them up. I know they'll run. I'm not worried about it. I've got to clean my track. So I'm going to do that, guys, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the update. All right, guys. Hey, look here. I'm making my fence for my cows. And this has not been anything but painstaking, to say the least. You can see here I've got my one fence. I got both ends set up about how long I want one section to be. Two sections are going to be about the same length. So I've got these all pieced out ready. What I'm using is the strip styrene from Evergreen, the 762 T. Then I can set that T flush on what I'm using here to hold it down. I'll explain that in a minute. And this is just the quarter round, so it's got a flat side to it. This was the smallest styrene that I could find at the train show. It's an Evergreen 246. It's working good. I'm not having any issues with it. It cuts great. I got a new blade, of course. Every time you do use it, you need to use a new blade, or a very sharp blade anyway. Spider there. So I have it cut and I have it all set. Now what I have here is 2 pieces of the double-sided tape, and I've got this set for the exact length I want it, and I'm just going to put these on here. And if I have a little bit on the top, that's okay. I just want to make sure each one is kind of level. This one is off a little bit, so I'm going to use it in the back once I get going. So then once I kind of get that glued down and going, all 3 strips across here. Now I'm going to come back to this finished one, and I'm just going to find a length between them that looks pretty reasonable. I'm not actually measuring it. I should, but I'm not. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I think about there looks pretty reasonable scale, to scale and reasonable. So and I'll just come in and put these behind there and dab a glue and glue them down. Then just come back, trim these up, trim off the sides, and trim these off a little bit too once they're in. That's easy to do. The the biggest part of it is just getting these together, straightened, stay together. And once you do that, this goes together really well. So on the gate, that will be the issue. I'm going to make it the same way, probably much like this one is down here, smaller, like that between. And I'll probably take a piece of this strip and just lay it across like this to kind of look like a gate, or I may lay two across like that. But I want to have a gate because I want to have access coming up to the area where the cows are fenced in, so in case they bring in more or takes them out and what have you, that there is access to the gate. So that is how I'm going to do it, so stay tuned. I'll have this done, and we'll go over there and hopefully put this in, put in the cows, and tidy up that farm. So stay tuned, guys. Well, I'll show you what I got done so far. Two larger sections are done. They're just gluing. Got the post the best I could. What I'll do is when these dry, I'll just come cut this right across here to make sure I leave just enough where it'll look realistic when I put it down. I'll trim these posts off here, plus trim these sides down. But wow, it takes a long time to get these fences in together, that's for sure. I want to check that. That might not even be, that might be this right here, not that. This one's drying. This is the other, excuse me, up here, smaller side. And then I need to make another side probably about this big, and then a hole for the gate. So I'm going to continue working on these over the next couple days, and I'll show you how I put them in and what they look like when they're done. Stay tuned. Well, guys, in between the drying of the fence, I've done a little work over here. You can see I still got to touch this up a little bit in a couple spots, but that's not a big deal. Ballast this, did some static grass in here, made some clump foliage, and put this in. This is like the drone footage of this. This turned out super. Man, this is nice. It's starting to dry and set up, but looks really, really nice. The rail brown that I used to try to paint that the best I could, but it looks very nice. I come back here to the back main up to where, you know, I'm going to wait to put in more scenery, but I go as far as I can. This is drying, so once it's dry, I'll come back, clean all up the center of the track really good. Clean up here under my switches really good. So that should be good. So coming along nicely. I put in the park, you know, of course, gravel drive and stuff with a little bit of weeds in it. So coming along nicely, gonna tidy up here along the main where the farm is, and I did touch up my road. That looks very nice. I have not run a locomotive over that yet, but I gotta wait till this dries and I clean up all the track and test everything, but should do fine. I just basically ballast the sides, so I'm gonna make sure there's nothing on the inside before I run a locomotive and clean it up. But there you go. Right here, I'm not sure if I want to put any scenery here. I probably will right about here, but here I may put in another building, or definitely right here we'll put in another building next to the feed mill for sure, I think, because I think I can fit some type of store or something there. Maybe a fire department, I don't know. Could be a good place for it. But that's what I'm thinking there, because in the way this is set up now, which being another update, but the way it's set up now, it's looking pretty good, and I got a better idea how this town's gonna shape up. So let this dry. I'll come back and we'll put in this fence, hopefully, in the cows. So stay tuned. Alrighty, everybody. As you can see, I've got 3 big sections of this fence done. It turned out very nicely. It's all trimmed up, ready to go where it needs to go, almost, except for this piece right here will be back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this in to get an idea of my gate and the other section that I need to build. And once I do that, I'll show you where this is in. And then I'm going to give you a kind of show you what I've been doing on the layout, because I've done a little more work. So I'll show you that, and I'll end that update on this. So stay tuned. Let me get these fences in, and I'll show you how they look. Okay, everybody, here it is. The fence so far is in. Looking very nice. That house is where it'll go. There's some little details to put around that. So nice. Very happy with it. Got to make a gate down there at the end. Probably right here at this end and then a little section there. So I'm going to work on that next. So then comes some little extra details along here. Some foliage, some trees, figures, all that good stuff that I have to do. So let me come back here really quick and I'm going to show you what I've done. As you know, I touched up this track a little bit, cleaned it off. I did ballast it. Here I put in some weeds and I also put in some trees today while I was at it. Did some work along the main there. Oops, come back here, sorry, excuse me. Did some work there, put a little shrubbery around that, or ground foliage. Back along here as well. Came back down to this end, voila. And, you know, fix this road in. Put some foliage there as well. Gonna probably put another tree maybe back behind that shed. That's about it for that section. Did put some nice foliage in here. This is some of the fine leaf foliage by Woodland Scenics. Cut it into nice looking little trees. It really looks great. This looks great along here. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit for you. And right here, I'm not sure what I want to do yet. Put in some industries or business or row of businesses or maybe my gas station there. But I'm going to clean that up and put another business there and a row of shrubs to separate the feed mill. Or maybe just come out here in this grass a little bit, build it up, and make a sign for my seed mill. That probably would not be a bad idea for the mill and the co-op. So this, I'm going to put some trees around here. I have a fence to make to put around there. So the next update, I'm really going to focus in on the farm, finishing this whole scene along here. Animals and little figures and stuff like that, and finish this fence. So that's what I'm doing today. I've cleaned up the track. Now I think eventually we got to run a train through this. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned about my fence. I'll probably talk about it a little bit even more in the next update. So thank you. This is part 1 of the farm scene so far, finishing it up. So thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, share, all those great things. Thanks guys so much.